Yeah, my guitar player Fern, man, he's a boss, man. He's a good guitar player. I've known him since I was 14, and yeah, so it's been over 10. It's been about 10 years since I've known him. He was like one of the first people I met in high school. He's an insane guitar player. You know, every time I always see him jam out, and it's just he's such a great guitar player, and I don't know. I think his licks and solos and everything he does on stage and in studio just speaks for itself. I'm not amazing at the instruments I play. Like, I can put ideas together and everything, but having Fern around, like, if I'm playing something on guitar, he just elevates it to like a whole nother level, and it's like, yo, that's it. Let's run with that, you know. So he's great. He's insane at improvising.
How's it going, y'all? My name's Fernando, but my artist name Fernington. I'm Cuco's guitar player. Yeah, let me show you guys my rig. Normally there's a pedal board here, but I just recently got introduced to Kemper. Kemper does everything. So pretty much, you know, our set, the production of the set is like just, you know, going from the verse to the hook. There's a lot of effects and all that, and it's just, you know, to be on top of the click, can't really be tap dancing. So yeah, so we use the Kemper, which is on this side in a little corner. You guys might not be able to see it, but yeah, everything is preset, and everything just changes on its own. So all I have to worry about is just playing and giving my 100% to, you know, the crowd. And this is my my main guitar. It's a John Mayer signature Strat, and pretty much does everything I needed to do. It's a great guitar. I've had it for about 10 years, as you can tell. She's getting beat up and whatnot. But yeah, just straight into the Kemper.
Same thing. I've known him since we were in high school. Also, like, one of the first people I met when I was in high school, and we actually just played a lot of music, metal music together. We were like, yeah, we had a couple of metal projects, and we just jammed out. He's always been a super great bass player. I mean, his mom got him into playing bass, and you know, he's just kind of had that since the beginning. And I've always, you know, he's always known how to get a good tone and just bring so much to the table as well. Same thing. I mean, when we're in the studio, like, I think everybody elevates every idea that I have. Everybody just elevates it to like another level, and it's just so easy to work with them.
Hi, my name is Esai Chicano God Salas. I am the bass player for Cuco and musician for hire. So right here we have this is a pedal board. This is my tried and true. I take this everywhere around the world I go with me. I'll start. Obviously, I got my tuner. I really love my soul food pedal. I use this basically like a drive to just give me that little oomph sometimes. My MXR babies right here, these are the ones that I really use a lot. My bass octave deluxe and my bass envelope together give me some really insane sounds and options there. I really have been enjoying my Billy Sheehan Signature Deluxe Overdrive pedal here. Gives me that really just like crunch through. I just power through these sets sometimes with that bad boy. And this new one right here is a Malico Diabolic. It's actually a fuzz pedal I just got from our great producer, Pasco. Shout out to him, thank you very much. And my classic SP compressor at the end just to keep me dialed in at the very end. So that's my pedal board. That's what I tour with all the time. Here's my beauty, my pride and joy. It's an American Elite Fender Jazz Bass V. I'm one of the few bass players out here I feel with a 5-string bass nowadays, but I love it. It gives me a lot of versatility with my classic 3-band EQ. I have my option, which I love because I have the noiseless pickups to both go passive and active pickup on here. And I love these newer models, shout out Fender. I love these newer models because it makes it very easy to switch out my 9-volt batteries in the back. And yeah, that sums up basically my rig.
Yeah, Julian, met him, I think, like my 3rd year in high school. We've always been friends, kind of like, he was always super into like the local music scene, and he actually introduced me to like a lot of homies and stuff. And when the project started like kind of popping off, he was just like, yo, if you ever need like anybody, if you need a drummer, like, let me know what's up. And you know, he's a great drummer. He's, you know, the drummer is the, you know, the metronome of the band. Like, even whether you have a click or you don't have a click, like that's what, you know, if something happens with your cable goes out of something, you know, like, and you need to put it back, you're looking at the drummer, you're that's who you're looking at. And I'm just thankful that my friends are my friends that I've known for a long time are in my band. And what Julian brings to the table is just such a good flavor of good fills, just keeping such a tight pocket in the studio. Just like I have a lot of tracks where I would just program drums, and then once we hear the project with good drums, and it just sounds like a friggin' song. It's amazing. It's so crucial.
So my name is Julian. I'm the drummer for Cuco. I'm also a producer, beat maker, DJ, party host back in LA, and just a wild card of the deck, really. But my role here in this project is to keep the beat, hold it down, and keep my mates in check. I've been drumming for this project since the beginning, really. Ever since the backyard shows over in LA, mainly like in Whittier, Downey area. We would kind of like circuit playing backyard shows every weekend for about a year. And I used to haul around my uncle's Beatles edition Ludwig kit everywhere. I almost got to the point where I can carry the whole kit by myself in one go. I play the same brand kit that I have since I was 4 years old. The kit that I grew up playing, which was my uncle's, my Uncle Danny, is the kit that I used to take with me to those backyards and to venues until we got a kit to tour with. I used to play with 2 rides, but now I play with just 1 ride and a crash. And then it's just the hi-hat, snare, 1 rack, floor, kick, seat, 2 sticks. I really looked up to Thomas Pridgen because Mars Volta is my favorite band. And Thomas Pridgen, Theodore, like learning how to play drums like that. I figure like if I could play drums like that, I could play anything. I'm really, really into arrangement. So dynamics play a big part in the way I hear, see, and feel music. But implementing those dynamics and like finding these key points in the songs, like the key words that he says, or like, creating stops, pauses, fills, and breaks in between things to like give an impactful moment to what part is being played, I think adds a lot of pizzazz to how a drummer plays with any band. The drummer needs to know the music better than everyone else in the band. It's all about commanding that energy. Being the drummer, you carry everyone's burden in the room. They're relying on you. If there wasn't any drums in the room that were present that were like reaching into them like that, the way I deliberately played to do, I don't think like the energy would be the same. My favorite part about the way this music carries is that the drums are just kind of like boom bap in their way. I've kind of like studied the way that like we can create those impactful moments that I spoke of earlier. Omar writes these like far out bass lines, and Esai is already like more than efficient enough to play them. Like the way you said, when the rhythm section cuts out, the music stops, right? But what happens when it comes back in? What happens just for that moment, that split moment, it just drops and you're just like, and then boom, right back in. See, it's that take and then that give, that push and pull, that tension and release. It's what makes it. The bass and the drums for this project really, really carry through. They really, I try my hardest to lock that in and to also give that platform for the boys to ride. You know what I mean? If there's a lot going on with the bass, there's a lot going on with the guitar. It's my job to just give them that platform, to let them shine, to let the music shine. Think about the music like as a whole. Think about how sonically that is gonna carry. You know what I mean? You could have a straight boom, bap, boom, bap, and then you can just have this bass line that is just flowing right through it. And then there's just chords just like gliding right through. And have this bass line that's just going like this, just walking through that whole straightforward drum beat, and then you just have these chords that are just gliding right through the middle of that. You know what actually unlocked that for myself was beat making. So I would say like listening to like a lot of knowledge beats did that for me, because his tapes, like he has just like a cool way of just like I mean, like the beat maker thing is to kind of like cut out the drums just for a second and then bring it back in. The beat comes out when like a dope bar gets said and then it comes right back in. You know what I mean? It's that same feeling, you know what I mean? Like Knowledge, J Dilla, Madlib, like all, that for me is like the Trinity. I take those influences dynamically and implement them into drumming and implement them into like what effects it gives to pop music, what effects it gives to music in general. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it's not just hip hop, rap, and beat making that these empty spaces exist in. You know, silence can be musical.
Yeah, I mean, Axel, he's my friend of the house, and he's a guy that just understands. Like, he walks into a room and just like immediately understands. He's like, all right, this is what we have to do. This is how we cut out these frequencies that we don't want. It's like he's a machine. We just played Palacio de los Deportes the other day. He just like came in there and just made it sound like insanely good, and he does that literally in every room, and I literally have no complaints. There's always like my only notes are literally just volume notes ever, but every time it's just it just sounds amazing, and he's done this for a long time, so I'm really lucky to have him.
I'm Axel Valero. I'm front of house engineer for Cuco since I think 2018. Since I've started working with the band, they were so different, like sounding wise. When I arrived, I tried to change a lot of things. At first it wasn't possible, but then they let me do it. Like for example, the drums, I changed that. I get rid of all amps on the stage to have a cleaner stage, and then I could move around my process with the drums and the vocals. And one friend that used to work with him, a tour manager called Luis Ron, he called me and he said, "Hey, are you interested in working with Cuco?" I said, at that point I didn't know Cuco, like his music, but then I said, well, I let me listen to that and I let you know. After I listened to that, I said yes, because his noise, so his music and his approach to the production is so unique. So for me, it was like, I know that I can give this twist for a live show, like instead of just pulling up the faders, My first language is not English, so I was very shy with them. And they were rehearsing and I had no words around me, and like it was so quiet at first. But then as Cuco speaks really good Spanish, we started to get along like really good. The first thing I noticed with his music is that he changed a lot between one song and another. Like you have bossa nova, that's like kind of trap, or like mostly in electronic, and then you have alternative rock music. I have the idea that if I start tweaking the snare and the drums, like tuning it, I can like get there. So I started like doing that with the drums and the transients and the tuning like up and down, and then drive and a lot of things, so I can get there to that sound. But I needed the clear stage to do that. When we started working with Ryan and John, the music director, also he introduced the Kemper, and the guitar like acted like a different role, because the sounds were so different, and not just one guitar and with the same sound all the show. So that also worked like amazingly. I would love to have more elements for me to mix, because right now we have the tracks and one synth and two guitars and the drums, but I think if we start like adding, I don't know, paths or triggers, and I can play more with the and have a better approach to his sound, and just like improve it. Like I'm aiming to add new details, so it sounds like bigger and exciting. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, and obviously going bigger in shows. And right now, and I am using the LV1. It's really easy to fly with it. It's just a case, 3 cases, Pelican cases, and we can fly like the next day have a show, and I have a lot of power with that. It's all the waves or plugins and the processors that I have with that gives me the opportunity to have a big show with small desk. This is the first tour with Cuco with the LV1.
Same with Benito, like whatever we need in our ears, however we need it, like, you know, he's just so good at, like, it's, cause I see these things and like, I don't understand like the consoles, I don't understand anything that's happening, but it's just like, what I'm hearing in my ears just sounds so good. And I'm like, yo, you're a legend.
My name is Benito Garcia. I am doing monitors for Cuco since 5 years from now, I guess. First, I was doing production, and they were looking for someone who do both things, monitors and production manager. So in Mexico City, I do both for more than 10 years from now. And I just met the band, and I saw that there was a project who needs to step more levels up. And first I started using the in-ears. They used to use wedges, so I came from the idea from using the in-ear monitors. So I use the Shure SE215 for all of them, because there was his first time using the in-ears. So that's how we started. All is communication. It's communication between the sound, the front of house engineer, the stage manager, the musicians, Ryan, the musical director, for what works for everyone. And based on that, we are communicate all his needs, and also I have all the gear necessary for make that they feel comfortable for using the in-ears. I'm seeing them all the time while they are playing, and I need to read his movements. Sometimes they are playing and they are not able to make any signal for me. So I am just looking at them, and if they need something, I just realize, because I'm a musician too. So I understand that if something is wrong with them, they are doing some movements. You know when they are not comfortable with the mix. I mean, more click or less click, or more of his own guitar. So they just like confirm with his movement what the thing I do is the best for him. As a production manager and an audio and sound engineer, I know what everyone needs. I mean, how many mixes they need, how cables, microphones, all they need. So, and I have that knowledge of the brands of the microphones. For this show, we are running with our own consoles, the Emotion, the LV1 from Waves. For us, for the monitor and front of house engineers, there are very good and easy ways to put everything for the musicians feel good on the show.
My name is Ryan. I'm a music director, I do playback, show running, a million other things, do some composing, but on this tour I'm doing show running right now. So I do a lot of cueing for songs for the boys, and I have a talkback mic, so I'm pretty much just like in their ears and, you know, letting them know what's going on, when there's like guitar changes, all that kind of stuff. And sometimes just like whispering little sweet nothings to them, making them feel comfortable on stage. It's kind of the vibe. Depending on the artist that I work with, some people really want to be babied and like know exactly what's going on. Some people don't want to hear me at all. Some people like really like having you in their ears and like telling them what's coming up. You know, look out for this, grab your guitar, blah, blah, blah. And then just making them feel comfortable, especially like when we're doing bigger shows and like they can get a little nervous, just talking to them in a way that's like relaxing. That really helps. Just like you're pretty much producing a person to like feel comfy doing what they're doing. And remember to like have fun, it's music, like relax, have a good time. I guess from a technical point, like there's a lot of patch switching for guitars. So, you know, that being really technical still eases them a little bit because they're not worrying about like a ton of pedals and changing stuff, and they can just focus on performing a little more. That really just like lets them relax. We run Ableton and we have a Kemper rack and then an Axe-Fx, so that's going all their changes. There are a few pedals on stage for like solos, little overdrive, but most of it's just like CC automated, and then that just kind of like makes it simple for them, especially if there's guitar changes and not worrying about like having to like get a guitar on and then hit 4 pedals. And also things like mute patches, like turning the guitar off for them, it's like a little noise gate instead of them like, they can play a part and if there's no part coming up where they're performing, they can just like let go. You know what I mean? Because it's muted, there's nothing coming out. Usually trying to match the record, for sure, with stuff like that. Get as close as you can. You know, sometimes when they're like, I have this pedal I found from the 70s from Sweden, it's like, okay, we're never, you know, and you don't want to bring that on tour because it's going to get, you know, freighted and destroyed, so you just get as close as possible with tones like that. And the emulations in the Axe and the Kemper are amazing. It's just like so easy to find stuff that's relative. They're just tried and true. There's a lot of new stuff that's coming out that sounds great, but like when it comes to just communicating with Ableton, it's like basic CC. When you know something's working and like you can probably throw that rig across the room, it'll still work, like you just kind of stick with it. Just a little safer. We have a lot of AC-15, like Vox, and then I'm trying to think what else. There's, you know, there's some Marshall stuff and just basic Fenders. There's not like too many crazy tones going on with this crew. It's mostly just like, I would say more effects than like different amp modifications, but some flangers, some delays, stuff like that. And also with the delays being timed with grid and like Ableton, it makes it so much easier for it to not get like askew, like you're getting the correct delay. That's another thing that, you know, can go wrong a million times, so.
I'm like, yo, you're a legend. And Allan too, you know, he's our stage manager, but he also does like the, you know, he like if Benito can't make it, he does the in-ears, and he, you know, he also kills it. He also, you know, helps us out on stage, whatever we need.
I'm Allan. I'm the stage manager of Cuco. I'm also producer, audio engineer, and a drummer. I'm from Mexico City, so it's cool to be here. For the way it's been growing, I have to. The first time I came here, it was a lot of things going on. Like I had to be aware of the video wall, the backline, the guitars, everything. Everything was under my supervision. So we started evolving, so we got bigger. But in this tour, right now, they wanted to be again in small venues. So I have, for the things that has been going, we removed the whole the amps and everything, so they're running directly to the Kemper that I think you already know, the fractal, you know, everything's going DI and everything has it's on the ears now. So in a way, it's faster, but you have to be aware of many points at the same time. So I'm doing that. Well, in a way, you have to be running with how the stage is built and how it's gonna be the stage, because it's gonna be different. Like the sizes are different for every venue. So it's only to the matter of what size you have to play with, so you can accommodate everybody in their places. But it's more easy. It's like more down to earth. Just drums in the center, on the back of main, in this case Cuco, guitar and bass. No, so it's easy. It's easy in a way, but also, as it is easy, you have to be aware of a lot of things. Axel, front of house, is running a bunch of effects, a bunch of things. So he has to be on control of everything. Like everything has to come from the PA and not from the stage that much. No, in a way, the only thing that if you take out the ears, the only thing in stage is the drums right now. So it's a good thing for the PA and the people to hear something different. It's not just amps going on. They have like different stuff, and I don't know, like in the snare, the tune goes up, the tuning goes up, the tuning goes down, and he has control of that because there's nothing else going on the stage. So it's better, it's different. You have to get used to. These guys had to get used to, but we got it. I think in time we had it. Cuco's music, and Cuco by himself is a really honest artist. His music is super down to earth. He's super, like, in a way, direct. So I've seen it, like, we've been with this guy for 4 years now. So I've seen the reaction of everybody after the show, that they leave with a bunch of good vibes and a bunch of, like, love in a way, you know. And that's what we always hope for. Like, he's really in touch with the fans. He's really, like, taking care of everybody, even us. Like, as I said, we're from Mexico City and we keep coming. Like, it's a family now. We take care of each other, and I think that's it. Like, the love and the honest about the music that is right now.
A dream team. It's like the whole band isn't just us. It's the sound crew, the people that help everything get on the stage and make the show happen. Because, you know, we can't. You know, this show wouldn't be possible without them. Like, the same way it's not possible. Like I'm only making up a section of it, even though, like, the whole Cuco thing, like, people see me like, all right, that's Cuco. Like, the whole project doesn't function without the people I have in my surrounding. Like, this is a huge thing that I'm lucky to have amazing people around me.